Well, we have new information tonight on a deadly officer-involved shooting last month.
The Cumberland County District Attorney released his findings on the shooting that happened in Carlisle on January 13th. Taylor Toshef joining us now live in studio with this story. Taylor.
Valerie and Alicia, the DA says the officer who fired the gun was justified in the fatal shooting of Nathaniel Liberator after Liberator used a weapon.
The Pennsylvania State Police investigation is now complete.
In the officer-involved shooting that led to the death of Nathaniel Liberator of Carlisle.
I have reviewed the results of that investigation and have reached the conclusion that the officers involved in this incident were justified in their actions.
The shooting unfolded January 13th. Carlisle Borough Police were called to C Street after a woman said a man, later identified as Liberator, was harassing her two sons in the front yard. Police say this was the second run-in.
Referred to the boy using racial epithets and also repeatedly cursed at the boy. He also told the boy at this point in time that he was going to kill his parents.
An officer followed Liberator for a few blocks on foot and told him to stop walking and that he's going to be detained.
He refuses to stop when he is asked by the officer to do so.
The officer calls for backup. Both officers once again tell Liberator to stop walking and to take his hands out of his pockets. If not, he would be tased. That was never used. Officers later grabbed Liberator's arms. He resisted.
And Liberator and the corporal fell to the ground. The officers at this point in time did not know that he had this object.
That object later determined to be a deer antler sharpened to a point. During the course of this struggle, officers realized Liberator was trying to use the weapon to stab the officer.
The patrol officer at this time stepped away from Liberator and, fearing for the life of his supervisor, drew his service pistol and fired 2 shots at Mr. Liberator. And let me make this very clear. This was a life or death decision on the part of the officer that fired these shots. I think it's really second guessing these officers if we're saying that a taser would have been better to use, because I do not think a taser would have been better in this situation.
District Attorney Sean McCormack says Liberator's family attempted to have him involuntarily committed for a mental health evaluation a few days prior to the incident. Neither officer was aware of that information the day of the shooting.
They have lost a loved one. They are certainly grieving.
In a statement, Nathaniel's brother, Jeremiah Liberator, said, quote, "This egregious loss to our family cannot be understated. He was my best friend, my twin brother, the one person who understood and knew me the best, who walked through life with me every day." And the 2 officers were not injured. Although the DA says the shooting was justified, it is up to the police department to determine if they will be reinstated. Reporting live in studio, Taylor Toshef. Alicia, back to you.